Today I'm making strudel with a cheese filling and then baked in oven. Sounds delicious, right? So this is stretch dough baked in the oven, and I'm also showing you how to prepare oyster mushrooms in a creamy sauce that will go with it. This is a dish I first tried at the traditional hotel in Croatia, and Štruklji or strudel are very traditional and very famous thing to eat when you're there. So for the dough preparation, we need flour, eggs, vinegar, a little bit of oil or melted butter, or like the traditional lard, if you want to really keep it that way, and warm water. So start by mixing the eggs with the oil or butter or lard, and then gradually add the flour. Slowly add warm water and continue mixing until all the flour is incorporated. And you'll have to work the dough until you get nice, smooth, soft ball. And once you get the nice consistency, then cover it and let it sit for about 10 minutes. Resting the dough is important. It relaxes the gluten and makes the stretching much easier. The warmer the dough, the easier it will be to stretch. So after resting, start rolling the dough with a rolling pin, aiming for a large rectangular shape. And turn the dough frequently as you work, stretching evenly. You can also use your hands as well. This takes patience and practice. Stretch the dough as thin as possible and without breaking it. Because this kind of goes into the pan and will be all baked up, so even if it breaks up, don't stress too much about. So for the cheese filling, we'll be using pressed cottage cheese. This is the kind that comes in a firm block and has very little moisture. So break the cheese apart with your fingers until there are no large lumps. And then add eggs, sour cream, and salt to the taste. Normally this cheese is not very salty, so you taste it and see how you like it, and you can always add more salt based on your taste preferences. So you mix everything well until the filling is smooth and evenly combined. You can also add chopped parsley in there, which creates a little bit of the color and obviously adds more nutrient benefits to it. You can also add some chopped kale or something like that. That's really like going a little bit more, adding something else to it. So once you have the nicely mixed everything, then you will sprinkle the filling across the dough and start from one end, and don't spread the cheese all over. Like leave it one side a little bit empty without having the cheese on it, because this will need it to seal the roll once it's all done. And then after you sprinkle the chopped parsley on it and begin rolling the dough carefully into a log. And as you roll, gently stretch and guide the dough so the filling appears evenly throughout the whole length of the roll. Once rolled, the dough will naturally seal itself. And then cut the roll into the pieces. So this is like you're thinking of how is it gonna look on the plate. like nice squares. You can use the knife, or actually what's better is the small plate, because that will actually naturally seal the dough. And while it's baking, that's how the rolls will bake like that, sealed, so the cheese will not spread all over, all out of the roll. And then so we have this in a separate mixing bowl. We'll mix together sour cream and milk or a table cream, and then enough liquid so it will fully cover the strudel pieces. And so the more liquid you add, the softer the final dish will be. So you pour the mixture over the strudel pieces, cover the baking dish with aluminum foil or a lid if you have, and then bake at 350 for about 45 minutes. And in the last 10 minutes, remove the cover so the top can become golden and lightly brown. While the dish is baking, we'll be making oyster mushrooms in a cream sauce. So I'm using the oyster mushrooms here, and normally in Croatia this is like also very accessible mushroom to find in the forest. So but you can use any other mushrooms, like also you can buy them at the store, but they're very nice and delicate, so that's why they're good. So oyster mushrooms are easy to prepare. Just stir them into thin strips using your hands. And in a pan, heat the oil and saute the chopped onions until soft and lightly golden. And then add the mushrooms and cook, stirring them gently. Season with the salt and pepper, and then stir it. Mushrooms don't need much cooking, about 15 minutes total is enough. Once softened and lightly golden, push the mushrooms aside, or actually take them off the pan and put them on a plate. I like to skip the dishes, so I do it all in one pan, but the proper way is put the mushrooms on the plate and then add your sour cream, and then what we wanted to bake this sour cream, or like cook a little bit, so it becomes more liquidy and then warms up, and actually looks like it's cooking or baking a little bit. It might change a little bit color, and then you will add your mushrooms back on it and stir them, and then as long as they all combine nicely together, then this will be done. So not too long cooking. So also, if you wanted more sauce, you also can add a little bit more milk and then season it to your taste. So now here we have a nice soft creamy strudel with a golden top and the rich mushroom sauce on the side. Mushrooms are a wonderful meat substitute, but they also pair beautifully with meat or other dishes like this, cheese. And then we'll have, so this is how this looks like. You can also eat these mushrooms on its own with the bread, or maybe just you can make like a shkanci or something like that. You can eat it. But here today we have this Zapečeni Zagorski Štruklji baked strudel, and which looks really delicious and yummy and soft. And because we cut the pieces, see how nicely they are sealed. So it looks like there was never a roll, right? Like they just did seal it, like when we were cutting them with a plate. And then you just add your mushrooms. Like I said, you can eat with or without, it's your choice. There is no must. So you can eat Zapečeni Zagorski Štruklji warm, or you can eat them next day cold. It's all you. Okay, thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope you like it. See you soon.